So today I'm going to be doing a very glam, super intense New Year's Eve inspired look. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you would like to see how I did it, just keep on watching. Alrighty, so we are looking real, whoa, rough. But that's the whole point of this video, isn't it? We're gonna try and fix that, hopefully, by the end. Also, real quick before I get started, yeah, I am repping my old job. And I got a little bit of stains, you know. They're old. It's been washed. I'm not dirty. I promise. I know how to function as an adult. I swear to you. But I figured, you know, it is literally freezing in my apartment right now. I cannot deal with it. So I decided to throw something on that I don't care if makeup or product gets on it. So we're gonna have Dunkin' here and my little grease stain from work. It's not even a stain from me eating. Like, I didn't even get any enjoyment getting the stain at all. But moving on, I already have my eyes primed. They may look a tad bit dry, just a touch. I used my Urban Decay primer potion in Fix, and for some reason this one clings to literally every dry patch known to man. So that is what is on my eyes already. And I also have my brows done. I do not have brows, so they definitely do not look natural, but that is my brows for you. If you want a tutorial on how I've recently started doing my no brow tutorial, let me know, because I will do that. It follows a lot of the same rules that I showed in my previous video. It was the Jaclyn Hill Vault Collection one where I showed my brows. It follows some of the same rules, but it kind of incorporates a lot of my old brow routine as well from when I had hair. So I just wanted to let you guys know, in case you are interested, I can show you guys some more techniques and more updated versions of how I can do different types of brows with no brows to start with. So today I want to actually do a New Year's Eve, New Year's celebration makeup. It's not really gonna be super on theme. I kind of just want to use this palette, which is the Tarteist Pro Remix palette, which my amazing boyfriend got for me for Christmas, and it has a bunch of different like colorful shimmers in it, so I figured it would work really well for a New Year's inspired tutorial. So I'm gonna be doing that. I think I'm gonna pull in, I wanted to only pull in like neutral or the basic type eyeshadows, so I'm gonna be pulling in some of the Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette, because this is really not my only, let's be real, I have so many eyeshadows, but this is like my most basic, I guess, matte palette that I have. So I figured, since I don't want to showcase other palettes, I really want to focus on the Tarte palette, but it doesn't have enough mattes. I want to pull in something that's super basic and isn't really gonna draw attention away from the Tarte palette, if you catch my drift. So I'm gonna go ahead and start applying my shadows, because why not? I want to really start looking like a normal human being. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a fluffy brush. First one I grabbed, this one is the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro 5. I don't really care about brushes, in the sense that I have brushes that I really consider like favorites, but even with my favorites, I feel like I can pull whatever brush that I like and it's fine, or like whichever brush from my collection. So when I list off brushes, don't think you need to have a specific brush for that particular look or for that particular function. You can use whatever you have and whatever you like. So I'm just picking up this because it's a fluffy brush and I wanted a fluffy blending brush for this step. So I think what I'm gonna do is, here's the thing. I want it to be a cool tone look, but I don't like cool tone matte browns on my eyes. I have a lot of yellow in my skin, so I think I'm gonna go for a slightly neutral, maybe mixing it into some of the warm, just to get the base that I want, and then I'll add in the more cool colors later on. So I think I'm gonna go with this color. It does have a name. I'm not sure. It could be Samael, but it also could be Latinus. I hate when the names are on the back because it's so hard. I can't tell, like, is this, the way I'm looking at this, is that the front of the palette, or is it like where it lines up on the front? I don't know. So we're just gonna go with this shade right here, and it's just a neutral matte brown, and that's going to be kind of my transition color. And I'm just going to apply this into my crease. If you don't have these palettes either, don't worry about it, because I don't think that the colors that I'm gonna go for today are gonna be super revolutionary. I mean, the Tarte colors are really pretty and I love them, but I don't think that there's any color you can't dupe with another palette. So if you don't have these, don't worry about it, because I know that these are more high-end makeup. High-end and low-end makeup really just, it's only about the price point, honestly. Formulation and stuff, you can find the same quality from both. It's just gonna depend, because every brand has hits or misses, so just don't feel like you ever need to use the exact same things as I use in my videos. Lately, what I've been doing, since I do carve out my brow with concealer, I just find that I'm a super messy makeup applicator. I just like to throw color on and then kind of fix it later on as I'm like blending and buffing and stuff. So what I've been doing, since I already have a slight highlight, is basically just bringing my brush as close as it can get to my brow without actually going over my brow, since I don't want to wipe off the color. I mean, I use really like long wear products, but I don't want to disrupt any of the product that I have for my brow, so I kind of just go as close as I can, and that just gives me as diffused of a look as possible with just that slight bit of highlight. And then sometimes I'll go in and add a shimmer to just the highest point if I want, but this is kind of how I've been doing my highlight lately. It also just helps, especially if you're like me and you have dry skin, because matte brow bone highlights really don't stick to my skin. Since I have dry skin, it really just doesn't have anything to grab onto. So using the concealer as your highlight in this way really helps you get that really pop, but not have to worry about like, is this shadow gonna look patchy? So I also want to go in with a warmer tone. I think I'm gonna go in with this one. It's slightly more orange than I would like, but it's the only like light warm tone that is in this palette. Honestly, I like this palette, but I don't. I really like, I wanted it for so long because everybody used to love this and they raved about it and raved about it, but honestly, it's nothing revolutionary. I do like it and I do use it, but I definitely think it's more of a pairing palette in my opinion, because if you're like me and you have a lot of warmth in your skin, other than these 4 shades, oh my goodness, I'm gonna blind you guys. Other than these 4 shades right up here, there's not much warmth in this. Even the neutrally tones, like they don't pull any warmer on my skin. Like you can even see this color that I applied here, it pulls really cool on my skin. So it's just one of those things that I think is a good pairing palette, but it definitely, I don't think is a standalone product. So I'm just going to run this along the edges of that first brown, mainly because it was a little bit darker than I probably would have liked for a transition shade. So I'm just gonna go over that and just kind of build up my colors. And then what I think I'm gonna do, I kind of want to just go for something very blown out and smoky today. I feel like I've been trying to do a lot of like the really cool designs and like graphics on the eyes, which really require a lot of precision, but it's to me, I think it looks very overdone, and it just, sometimes it can just be too much. So I kind of want to go for a less is, not a less is more necessarily, because I still want a lot of makeup, but just more of a worn and just like lived in type look. So I think what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna go for some of these like blues and greens down here. So first, I think I might pop in some of the darkest blue. So that's this shade right here, and that is called Artist. So it's the darkest shimmery blue in the palette, and I'm gonna switch brushes because this is way too big for my eyes to place color. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to take a pencil brush. This one is an e.l.f. one. I just honestly just picked it up. No specific brush, like I said, is really needed. So I'm going to take this color and I'm just going to apply this. I might do kind of a halo type eye. So I'm going to apply this to the outer edge, kind of pulling it into the crease. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to take a bit of this color onto the inner corner as well. And in addition to this shade here on the inner corner, because I have kind of small eyes and they kind of droop down. I don't really like to do halo eyes where it's the same amount of depth here and as it is on the inner corner. So I'm gonna go in with Art Deco, which is this shade right next to the blue. It's just a lighter shimmery, like kind of like a blue with a goldish green reflex. And I'm going to apply this right on top. And what this will do is it'll give me a similar tone to the first blue, but it'll lighten it up slightly so it's not too intense or the same amount of depth. And then once you have these kind of placed, you want to kind of slowly connect them in the middle, and then go ahead in with your original brush that you use and just kind of blend over to soften the edges. So as you can see, I actually like kind of went over the center. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't actually have a color I want to put on the center of my lid, but I don't want it to be just a super white stark base next to the shadow, because I want to go in with a glitter top coat, or I don't know what you would call these, just like a glitter liquid shadow. And I wanted to use this one because it's inexpensive, it's by Milani, and it's similar to one of the most popular ones, which is the Stila ones, and those ones are just really pricey for what they are. I found a lot of them at TJ Maxx, so definitely check your local TJ Maxx or Marshalls if you're interested in trying those out, because I've seen a lot of them recently. But if you are somebody who maybe can't find them, or maybe like they just don't have any at your local TJ Maxx or Marshalls, definitely try out like the more inexpensive versions, like the ones by Milani, because they work just the same. And these products I think are really cool, and I've actually liked them a lot more than I thought I would. I originally thought that these were just all hype, but I do think that the Milani ones and the Stila ones, just in general, the glitter liquids are really cool products and definitely worth picking up. But I'm actually using this one by Milani in Prismatic Light number 5, and it's just a really cool blue reflect, and I'm going to apply this on the center of my lid, basically where that empty space was, because I want to add just like a pop of sparkle just through the center. Now, I've noticed with these that they are super liquidy, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply the other side as well at the same time, just to give the first eye some time to dry slightly before I go to blend it out. Now that I have that, I'm just going to kind of fan it down slightly. These are really liquidy, like super thin in consistency, so you want it to be slightly dry when you go to blend the edges. And I'm just gonna kind of tap the edges with my finger and then slightly tap over the center, because you can go in and go apply a second layer after you've kind of blended it out. So as you can see, it's definitely like sheared it out slightly. It's not as intense as that side, but it is starting to blend and kind of merge with the other colors on our eyes. I want to go in and add some definition and drama with my eyeliner. So this is the NYX Matte Liquid Liner, and it's just in the shade Black, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply it. And I think I might go for a wing today. I normally don't do wings, but I think I want to do a wing. I was gonna do a new technique of foundation application just to show you guys what it looks like right here, but it wasn't doing so hot on camera. I had to do a lot to fix it, so I just decided to do my foundation off of camera, and I'll just show you guys what I do for my cheeks. So I'm using my Anastasia contour kit in light to medium, and this is what it looks like. I'm gonna take this shade right here. It's more of a red tone color, and I actually might mix a tiny bit of the taupey color. And just take that onto my brush, and I already started applying a tiny bit of this. That was part of the old technique that I wanted to try, but I'm just gonna stick to what works. So I'm going to apply this to my cheeks here. And then whatever is excess on the brush, I'll just run it a slight bit on my forehead. I don't like to do too heavy contour or bronzing on my forehead. For my highlight today, I'm actually going to be using a Sephora. This is their Ombre Obsession palette, face palette. I got this, I think it might have been last year or it might have been earlier this year. I can't exactly remember, but the palette looks just like a little wheel of blush and highlight colors. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna take the highlight in the center and I'm just going to apply this to my cheek. Lastly, for the cheeks, I'm going to go in with a blush. I think today, since I have some like blue tones, I'm gonna go in with this like purpley tone blush down here. It's kind of like an ombre tone, so I'm just gonna mix the two like ombre colors together, so that lighter purple and that more like rosy mauve. And I'm just going to apply that to my cheeks, and my cheeks are gonna look super intense still. Don't worry, I have one more step to do after this. But I'm just going to blend right in between that highlight and that contour, but focusing mainly towards the back of the cheek. To make sure that your cheeks don't look super harsh, you want to go in with like a dual fiber or just like a super fluffy brush and just blend out your cheeks. And I focus mainly where the bronzer and the blush is and leave the highlight area kind of alone so that it stays very intense the way that I like it, but that the blush and bronzer side, as you can see in comparison to this side, starts to really look a lot more natural and buffed out. To highlight my inner corner, just to give a little bit more of a pop, I'm gonna take the shade, what is this? Inspiration, and it's just this light pink shade right down here, and it just has a shimmer to it, so I'm picking that up on a pencil brush and just applying this to my inner tear duct so that it highlights that area and really brightens it up. And then I think I might take a tiny bit of this, like whatever's left on the brush, and just run it at the highest point of my brow. Just like that. Oh my god, these smell like literally, I would say, I don't know if they smell exactly like the Too Faced chocolate bar palettes, but these have a very strong like chocolate or like cocoa scent to them for some reason, and I don't know why, because they're not marketed as being like those like Too Faced smelly palettes or whatever, but they definitely have like some type of like chocolatey scent. Like this palette smells really, really good. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pop on my lashes right now. I'm gonna use my, honestly, these were just sitting on my desk. These are the number 113 by Ardell's. So they're kind of like the Demi Wispies, but they're just a little bit longer than the Demi Wispies. And I'm going to be using my hair glue. Don't at me, I love hair glue. Ever since Beat Face Honey mentioned this on her channel, I literally ran out and bought this, and literally it has changed the game of applying eyelashes for me. I was one of those people who could never get eyelashes to stick. I have super watery eyes. I am impatient as fuck, and I am just somebody who could not get normal lash glue to work for me. To this day, I still cannot get like normal lash glue to really work for me. I've mentioned a few in the past that I do like, and they work okay, but they don't last throughout the entire day without me having to reapply it. This hair glue literally costs like $2 or $3. You can even get like the bigger version, which is like huge. You're never gonna run out of that for like $4 at Sally's, and it lasts throughout the day without needing to be touched up. The only time I think I've ever had to touch it up was when I've accidentally like glued it to my lashes, and that sometimes like it will start to come up. But even then, it's like, it's not the end of the world, and they're super easy to like reapply again. I love it. The only thing about these is like, if you have a latex allergy, these are not latex free. But if you do not have a latex allergy, this works so well as a lash glue. You are pretty much done with the eyes. I'm kind of lately been going for the old school Nicki Minaj, like no product or anything on my lower lash line. I don't know why, but I've been really liking the look. I find sometimes that my lower lash line can get really heavy with product, so I'm not a huge fan of always going crazy there. So I'm leaving that blank and I am going to move on to the lips. I want to go ahead and use more of like a plummy, mauvey, purpley tone kind of lip just to go with the blue eyes. So I am going to go ahead and apply 2 different colors on my lips. I am using the collab, the one from Sally's that is basically a collaboration between a bunch of different YouTubers and Sally Beauty, and it's their Matte Addiction liquid lip color. So this is a kind of deep mauve color, and just to lighten it up a tad bit, since the eyes are very dramatic, I don't want to go super dark, I am gonna go in with Infamous, and this is the Bare Minerals. It doesn't say the actual like brand like formulation, but it's their liquid lip formulation in the shade Infamous. So I'm gonna go in with that just through the center. So first I'm gonna take the collab one, and I always do that. I always lick my lips to blot them off to then apply lip color. Let me know down below if anybody else you know does it, or if you personally do that. I don't know why, it's just something I always do. But I've only ever swatched these, so I don't actually know how these 2 formulations are gonna mix together. I just left the little bit in the center open because that's where I'm going to be applying the Bare Minerals one, and it just makes no sense to apply the collab one there. It's just gonna end up being like really thick product. So I applied that to the outer edge, and now I'm going in with Infamous by Bare Minerals. And this one is a bit more moussey. So that is pretty much it for my New Year's Eve glam. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you recreate this look for New Year's, definitely tag me in your Instagram post, or if you want, you can comment down below and like send me an email or a link to wherever you posted it. I would love to see your recreations. Also, don't forget to comment below letting me know what you guys are doing for New Year's. I think I'm just staying home and lounging around the house with my boyfriend and our little children. Not actual children. We have a bearded dragon and a bunny, but we're probably just gonna stay home, cook some food, and relax. So let me know what you guys are doing for New Year's, if you guys are going out partying, if you're staying with family, whatever it may be. Also, don't forget to thumbs this video up if you liked it and would like to see more from me, and hit the subscribe button and the bell, since subscribing is a 2-step process now, just so you guys can get notified of future videos. And also, don't forget to check out my channel. Go back and see some older uploads of mine if you are interested, because I would love to see your guys' opinion on how my channel has changed, how I've changed, how my makeup has either improved, or what things you think I could still work on. Let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye everybody.